What would you buy Trevor Lawrence if you were invited to his wedding, Sal? How you doing?
Oh, man, that's the guy who's got everything, right?
You're not lying.
Yeah, he's got it all, and he's going to have a lot more. He's going to have the world kneeling at his feet because I think he's going to be a fabulous professional player. He's going to do great on Sundays. I just think he's a once-in-a-generation talent. You watch him. He looks whip smart pre-snap. He can make all the throws. He's super competitive. He wins at the highest levels. I think he's going to be great for Jacksonville. He's going to be great for the National Football League. You know, I really love Jacksonville. Been down there a whole lot. I was in the military. I have a lot of military friends who have retired in the area. I love going down there. It's a great, great, great sports town, a great football town, and they deserve to have get back to the winning ways. And I got to just tell you this one other thing. You know, I'm one of the 46 selectors for the NFL, for the Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio. And I have been pushing very, very hard for Tony Boselli to get in. I agree with one of your favorite sons, Pete Prisco, that he's got to get in. He's got to get in soon, and I predict that in 2022 he's going to get into the Hall of Fame. I really do. I think it's going to happen. I think in one more season we're going to have him in there.
Sal Paolantonio with us. We love to hear that in Jacksonville. The fans are really thirsting for that to happen. Tony to get to Canton, Ohio, no doubt about it. Hey, let me ask you this real quick since you brought that up. I've always wondered this, and I go cover a lot of the Super Bowls, and we'll end up seeing the voters in the lobby, and we're waiting and hoping that Tony gets in that year, and it's been disappointing at times now over the last handful of years or so. But is there any value or importance in the fact that the Jags have not had a Hall of Fame member yet? They've been more than 25 years of franchise. Does that hold any weight, especially with a guy that has earned the chance to be in Canton?
No, I don't think it has never come up in the room. This is my 9th season in that room, and it's never come up. And we have obviously had very vigorous conversations about Tony Boselli. You know, I think what has held him back is just length of service. That's the bottom line. But I think if he didn't have that bad shoulder surgery and bad shoulder problem, he would have been Tony Munoz. He would have been Anthony Munoz. He would have, in my view, been one of the top 5 all-time offensive tackles because I think that's the level that he played at when he was healthy. And there's interest is growing, I can tell you, to put him in sooner rather than later. I think Alan Faneca had to get in this past time because of the length of service and how good he was and the number of Pro Bowls and All-Pros he had. Just outweighed where Tony was in his career. But I think the time is coming where Tony Boselli is going to get into the Hall of Fame. I predict he will get in sooner rather than later.
Sal, we're 8 days away from the draft. Obviously, here in Jacksonville, we got it pretty easy in terms of the top pick. We know it's going to be Trevor Lawrence. But to me, the draft doesn't really start until pick number 3 with the 49ers. They give up some draft capital. They move up a little bit. And here's what drives me crazy about the whole draft process, because I had to go through it myself. It's the smoke screens. It's, setting up traps for other teams. And when I say the smoke screens, the 49ers went to Trey Lance, went to Justin Fields and said, hey, we want you guys to do a second pro day. Now, I get it. Those guys want to compete and everything like that, especially the quarterback position. But you got to think the 49ers know who they're going to take as soon as they trade it up to get that third pick.
You would hope so, right?
Yeah.
First of all, I totally agree with you. The 49ers are the pivot point in the first round. But you would hope so that if you're going to take 3 first-rounders, that you would know who you're going up to get. And to me, it was honestly, in my opinion, very misguided to do that, to take all of those picks and go up for a Justin Fields or a Mac Jones or Trey Lance. To me, there really is only one slam-dunk quarterback, and that's Trevor Lawrence. And after that, I look at Zach Wilson. I don't see an NFL body on Zach Wilson. I know he can make all the throws. I know he's got a whip arm. He looks super smart and super tough, but I'm worried about his ability to withstand the pain, especially now that we're going to a 17-game season. Justin Fields, he looks terrific. There's no question he's got a great arm. He's super smart. He's obviously got great speed, but there's a lot of debate about whether Justin Fields translates. And that's one of the things that we talk about tonight on the NFL matchup show with Greg Cosell and Matt Bowen. We really dive deep into the difference in opinion about Justin Fields and Mac Jones as to whether they project into the current NFL the way it is played. You're going to have to scheme up things for Mac Jones. You're going to have to scheme up things for Justin Fields. So I think it's, to me, misguided to trade all those picks to go away. What did we just learn with Jared Goff and Carson Wentz? Yeah. In this offseason, those two guys were traded by the teams that traded up to get them and then invested a second contract in both of them, and then they traded them away. I just don't get it. After a guy at 43 years old who was drafted 199th won his 7th Super Bowl. Come on, help me. Help me out here, really. Understand.
And Sal, when we talk about Justin Fields, to me, this guy is all over the place. To me, he was unequivocally the second best quarterback entering the college football season. Right now, you take those two games. You take Indiana, you take Northwestern. He doesn't play that well, probably the worst games out of any of those quarterbacks that you just mentioned. But then when we see the good of Justin Fields on the big stage, playing through injury and being a dual threat quarterback, all the intrigue is there. So why are we talking about Justin Fields falling, maybe possibly, we'll see at number 3, but why is he falling so much after this season when his good was maybe the best out of any quarterback?
Yeah, well, the league set a record for points scored and touchdown passes, and teams are desperate for quarterbacks. Now, I think that Justin Fields is going to be a very good and could be a great NFL player. I'm just saying I don't know if I invest 3 picks to go up and get Justin Fields when I'm not sure. That to me is the key thing. That if you're the 49ers, I don't see how in the world you would do that. But here's the thing. Let's look at the 49ers, and I know we're talking about Jacksonville, and I want to go back to the pass protection thing, and that's the reason why I brought up Tony Boselli. But if you're the 49ers, if you're Seattle, if you're Arizona, you're worried about one guy, Aaron Donald. You want to make sure that your quarterback doesn't get buried, destroyed by Aaron Donald twice a season, as Russell Wilson has and as Jimmy Garoppolo has. One of the reasons why they got Kyler Murray is so that he can run away from Aaron Donald and deliver the football. So in my view, if the Niners are smart, they take Justin Fields over Mac Jones, because Justin Fields can at least escape the pass rush of the Rams and deliver the football, whereas Mac Jones is more of a pocket passer. So that's that. But getting back to the Jacksonville team, whatever you do, and Balky's a really smart guy, and I got a lot of respect for Urban Meyer, tremendous college coach. But you're now playing 17 games. You better protect that young man. You don't want to duplicate what happened in Cincinnati. The most important thing about Trevor Lawrence in his rookie season is, 1, give him options to get rid of the football quickly. 2, it's not college. You can't wait for guys to be open. You got to get NFL open and then deliver the football in 2.5 seconds or less, because the rush is going to get there. Remember, the league blitzed at a rate of 28% last year. That's the most in 5 years. That's the highest percentage in 5 years. So you can't really hold the pass rush that long when teams are blitzing that much. That's why Joe Burrow got buried last year. He held the ball like he was at LSU. Trevor Lawrence cannot hold the ball like he's at Clemson. Ball's got to come out, and they got to protect Trevor Lawrence if they want to have that young man last 17-game season the next 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, really good point. Sal Paolantonio, ESPN national correspondent. Sal mentioned the NFL matchup show draft specials coming up tonight, 9 o'clock on ESPN 2. That's episode 1. Episode 2 will air Tuesday, April 27th, right before the draft, 10 p.m. on ESPN 2. So a couple days before the draft. Tonight, 9 o'clock ESPN 2. Next Tuesday on ESPN 2 at 10 o'clock. Sal's been doing it for 20 years now. Always awesome to hear your takes, and I think they're really good conversation pieces here in Jacksonville and across the NFL. Sal, I'll leave you with this. Who do you think is the most interesting team as we approach draft night with what they have maybe capital-wise, with what they might do. Miami has some picks. New England might need a quarterback. Carolina is a very interesting one at 8. Who do you feel like is the team to watch that maybe could even disrupt things in the draft?
Okay, let's look at 2 teams in the AFC. I think it's the Indianapolis Colts, won 11 games, changed quarterbacks, went all in on Carson Wentz. Frank Reich is a terrific coach. I think the Colts have a chance to be in the AFC Championship game next year. I think they have a chance to vault over Buffalo and be better than Buffalo. So I'm very interested to see what the Colts do. Secondly, without a doubt, as I mentioned, Belichick won all those Super Bowls with a guy he drafted 199th. And now people are draft experts, people that I know and respect, are predicting that he will trade up in the first round to take a quarterback. Now, if there's nothing more that's the antithesis of what Bill Belichick has done in his career. He got one at 199 and won 6 Super Bowls, and now he's going to turn around and try to resurrect himself in New England by trading up in the first round. To me, I don't see it happening. I just don't. I don't see him moving up. I think it's completely antithetical to everything he's ever stood for. I'd be shocked if he does it, and if he does it, it will be absolutely shocking. The other is the Dallas Cowboys, to me. You have Dak Prescott coming back from that gruesome injury. The NFC East is easily won by any team that can add 3 or 4 or 5 wins, and the Cowboys can certainly do that. I want to see which way they go. Do they go all in on Kyle Pitts and try to jump up ahead of everybody and trade from 10 to 4 and convince the Falcons to move down to 10 and take Kyle Pitts at number 4? That's what I'm interested to see, because they are truly in love with Kyle Pitts. And Kyle Pitts would really, really help Dak Prescott coming back from that injury. I think the Dallas Cowboys are an intriguing team.
That would be a wild move. Sal Paolantonio, one of the best. We appreciate the time. Good luck on the NFL matchup shows tonight. We'll be watching 9 o'clock on ESPN2. And thanks for all the good words about Jacksonville and also Tony Boselli. We hope he's in soon.
Do me a favor, please. Win some games down there so I can come down to Jacksonville, hang out at Amelia Island, and have Dan Edwards take me out to dinner. Come on now.
We're trying. We hope you're right, man. Been around here 13 years, only covered 1 winning season, so we're right there with you. Thanks, Sal.
All right, talk to you.
Sal Paolantonio. That's pretty cool. We had him on a couple years ago. Remember when Nick Foles stuff? He's high on Nick Foles.